Ms. Malliotakis.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This legislation is about parents' choice, it's about schools' choice, it's about giving scholastic and educational opportunities for families, giving more children the opportunity to attend the school of their choice. And the people that benefit from this most are the students that are low income and minorities. Look at the stats. Today, 23 states have implemented a similar scholarship fund program for K through 12. And those programs have awarded over $1.8 billion with an average scholarship of $4,000 per student. Sadly, New York is not one of those states. As a member of the state legislature, I fought very diligently to try to get an education investment tax credit at our level. And sadly, in the overwhelmingly Democrat majority in the Assembly, there just was no interest. At the same time that they say they want to champion children who are of low income and minorities. Over 365,000 students nationwide with an average income of under $75,000 have received scholarships through these state-run programs. Florida, the tax credit scholarship program, has helped over 100,000 families. 68% of them are African American or Hispanics with an average family income of $24,000 per year. Benefits low-income families. And this gives equal opportunity for all children. As a result of New York not having one of these programs, sadly, we've seen many of our private schools, our parochial schools, mostly Catholic schools in my district, close. Maybe some on the far left want that. We know publicly some on the left have been very attacking toward Catholics and Christians in this country, and that's offensive. I'm not pointing out to anybody here on this dais. I'm just saying in general. There have been very offensive statements targeting Catholics and Christians in this country. What I will also say is that when those schools close, guess what happens? The public schools become more overcrowded. They're already overcrowded. They're becoming more overcrowded every single time another school in the community closes. It's been very sad in our community to see these schools that have been part of our fabric in our community for so long closing because children can't afford the attendance. And that's where these scholarships come in. Many people would like to go to these schools. They simply just cannot afford it. And let's be honest, as my colleague said, we've seen things happen in cities and states across this country in school districts that have made parents feel very uncomfortable with some public schools. What's happened in Virginia, trying to expose young children to sexually inappropriate or age inappropriate materials and curriculum. What happened in New York City with shutting down schools for prolonged periods of time during the pandemic, the setback. Many parents at that time chose to sacrifice and try to scrape up the money to put their kid in a private institution so they wouldn't be home, but instead learning in a classroom where they belonged. So there are different reasons why different families may want to seek a different choice for their children. And as taxpayers, they deserve to have that school choice. And so this shouldn't be competing, public schools versus private schools. We hear the same type of argument when it comes to charter schools. This should be all these educational opportunities for our children we should be supporting, and they shouldn't be competing interests, and they're not competing interests when it comes to how these tax dollars are going to be spent. So I support this bill. I appreciate my colleagues supporting it as well, and I'm happy to see this. I really do hope that we get this done on the federal level because states like New York are missing out. And appreciate that and yield back.
Thank you. Are there additional members that wish to strike the last